Yo, what's up guys, this is Hunter the Ray Dragon. We are back with some Majikoi A3 and we are going to be getting into Lee and Stacy's route in this playthrough. So, well, we're started with Lee and then we're going to do, I'll be doing Stacy as well. But let's go ahead and get this one started.
Hi. いつでも来てください.
1987, Beijing People's Republic of China. Through the city's shadows slithered the assassin only known as the Snake. He had finished his job, had paid a certain unscrumptious merchant a visit, and was on his way home when he stumbled across a crying baby in a back alley. The surprise wasn't the child herself, but rather that she'd been abandoned despite seeming perfectly healthy. No one knew why he did what he did next. Had he grown wary of the gruesome life he lived day after day, or had the way the innocent child looked at him stirred something deep within? One way or another, the assassin took the baby home with him to raise on his own. Then a magazine cover caught his eye.
顔立ちを見ると美人になりそうだしな。よし。お前の名前は人中だ。
人中。Cute baby laugh. Japan 2009. The cookies were under attack by a mysterious machine. Stacy.
これが本当のロックな銃撃だ。オラオラ。
あのメイド、従軍経験者。それもかなりの修羅場をくぐっているな。
Yes.
操縦なんかやめて直接乗り込みたいが、やむを得ん。機体を使ってのかく乱。そういう契約だ。
He's a frontline fighter. Whoa.
暴れている機体を遠隔操縦していると思われる。
My girl Lee. Hey, the assassin focused on trying to get his mech the upper hand against Stacy, with no inkling that someone had circled behind him. So Lee, her fingers dancing like a pianist,
確保します。
he shot a needle into the back of the man's neck with a markswoman's precision.
バカな。いつの間に接近を。くそ。戦い。レバ。
The assassin slumped to the ground unconscious.
確かにあなたの言う通り、普通に戦闘したらどうなっていたかはわかりませんが、私の本文はこちらのもので、ノリが悪くてすみません。
That's my girl. She gave him a slight bow. The baby the bachelor assassin had adopted that day had grown up into a wonderful woman, if one who'd charted a hapless fate.
このロボ動き止まりやがってね。やろう、しこたま打ちやがって。
いろいろ調べるんだから損傷させないでくださいよ。
Monsama, I have received word that the intruder has been captured. Holy hell.
ハロー。頼もしき部下たちよな。同日弱みするあれも危機感に欠けるかな。
I think you were right to maintain your bravado. If anything had arisen, we would keep you safe.
では、背中を流してくれ。
She stood in the bath, stood tall and confident, hiding not even an inch of herself.
直江大和は久喜紋城の人柄に惚れ、専属従者になった。学園に通学しながらの奉仕はいろいろと大変ではあるが、彼にとってはやりがいのある仕事である。
Yep.
だが、これから待ち受ける運命を彼はまだ知らない。
Fate always has something in store for him. I awoke that morning to the voice of a maid.
おはようございます。今日もいい天気ですよ。
I bet not just a maid she was also a mentor and my colleague all in one. Lee-san, good morning. No sooner had my alarm gone off then Lee-san's hand was there to turn it off. Mon-sama had slept with Tsubame-sama last night, so I slept alone. I can get up on my own, you know. This is my
先
job.
輩として可愛い後輩のため張り切っているだけです。
Lee-san struck a pose like Rosie the
後
Retrievers.
輩は先輩のこだわりを受け入れてください。
No, I didn't think I said that right. I was still new to the job with much to learn from my senpais.
着る服はこちらです。じゃじゃん。
One of whom was Lee-san herself. She was cool as a cucumber compared to the other two and also the kindest. She would bend over backwards for me whether I wanted her to or not. Azumi-san looked out for me too, to be fair, but my face washed and my teeth brushed, I began to change. It wasn't like I was taking off my briefs, so Lee-san remained in the room
で
waiting.
は服装検査します。
Now that I was in the butler uniform, she proceeded to check every bit of my
髪
body.
を少しじっとしていてください。
She took a comb out of her pocket and untangled my hair.
これでいいです。
Lee-san, you're not my personal maid. You don't need to do this. It's beneath
構い
you.
ません。対価はいただきますから。
Huh? You don't mean those, do you?
あれです。ギャグです。
Now that I was ready for the day ahead, Lee-san cleared
で
her
は行
throat.
きます。容赦のない3連発ですよ。
Ready?
すいません。フライング笑いしました。
This girl. That's
教授
fine.
のレポートの締め切りは今日中。機長の日記帳。新郎が新郎でイルス。スルッス。ヤマト、どうですか？
A bit off. You nailed it. A bit off. Honestly, they were kind of iffy.
先輩は機長ですか？それとも教授？
I'd say they were all war crimes, actually.
笑いの道は長く険しいですね。
As rough as her puns could be, it was those reactions of hers that gave me the most pause. She'd be beyond perfect too, if it weren't for that.
おめえら何じゃれてんだ。仕事だ仕事。
Sorry.
朝から全開で行けよお前たち。
キャルーン、おはようございます秀夫様。
安住のライフスタイルはもはや芸人。ずるいです。
おはよう。ちと早めに目が覚めたので散歩していたのだ。
Azumi's dumbass was about to get
元気
caught.
そうだな。
Today was another regular day at the Kuki household.
リーは朝になるとまだお前起こしに行ってるんか？
Yes, and it's a
で
lifesaver.
もしょうもねえギャグを聞かされるんだろ？
Yes, well,
そういう時はな、ロックのあれが効果的だ。あれやるといじけてしばらくギャグやらねえからな。
meaning
はじめ面白いって言うと喜ぶから、そこでそっと耳元でささやくんだ。嘘だバカってな。
I don't think he needs to do all that. I'd never say that. I'd hurt her
い
feelings.
やいや、仲がいいから言えるんだよ、こういうこと。友達同士は遠慮しない。ロック。
Stacy-san slapped me on the back. Oh, speak of the devil, there's Lee-san. She's saying
本
something.
当だ。相手は誰？
Friggin'
ゾゾマ
Zozuma.
じゃねえか。
Zozuma-san ranked 4th. I've heard that he's hard to please.
ああ、おしぼりで顔を拭くようなおっさんだ。
リー、お前は相変わらず能面のような顔をしているな。それではメイドとして半人前だぞ。笑ってみせろ。おい、まさか今ので笑ったのか？
Is that supposed to be a
す
smile?
みません。できません。代わりに小粋なジョークで場を和ませることにしているのです。
Oh god, no.
私のワイフもジョークが好きでね。言ってみろ。
I'm not even surprised that he's married.
クキのメイドとかけまして、 長い棒と解きます。
This is gonna be bad.
その心は
どちらもつっかえがうまいです。
ん
だからつっかえ棒というじゃないですか。棒
Don't
が長
explain
い
the
ことは
joke.
つっかえること
Please
に
don't
向くわ
explain
け
the
で。
joke. That's how you ruin it.
外したギャグの解説と冷めたハンバーガーほどファックなものもないよな。
Yeesh.
思わずにやりとするところだったが惜しかったな。
すみません。
笑える例としてワイフのジョークを一つ聞かせよう。
それはぜひにも。
行くぞ。
はい。
お客さん禁煙ですよ。すいません、もうすいません。
確かに面白いです。
How was that funny?
すごい。
リーと大して変わんねえよな。
Yeah, what the fuck? She taking the words right out of my mouth.
精進しろ。笑顔のないメイドなど少子千万だぞ。
He's not wrong about that.
まあそういうジャンルもあるがね。お前にはもっと伸びてもらわなければ困るからな。
Actually, some maids are kind of gorgeous when they have their normal, natural deadpan face, but then when they actually do smile, then that's the contrast.
努力はしてい
So
るの
it's
ですが。
definitely important for her to smile once in a while, but genuinely.
努力しているつもりじゃないのか。
The hell?
結果が出なくてはこう言われても仕方ないと思えよ。
Uh-oh. Zozuma-san briskly walked
ゾ
off.
ズマの老害め偉そうにぶっ倒してやるファッキン。
You're welcome to say that to his face rather than hiding behind me to whisper it. Oh, it's a summons from Monsama.
そりゃ急いで駆けつけないとな。
I worried about Lee-san after everything Zozuma had said to her, but my master took priority over everything else. I hurried out of the room. You summoned me, Monsama.
呼び出してから来るまでまあ問題ないタイムだな。
だから言ったであろう、ヒューム。
So this was one of Humason's tests. Good thing I hurried
遅
here.
れたらヤリイカを口の中に突っ込んでたぞ。
What the fuck?
常に迅速な行動を心がけろよ、赤子。
認められてよかったな。
Hell no. Yes, truly.
せっかく来たのだ。我とお茶でもしばこうではないか。
Are you asking me out, Monsama?
執事を誘惑するちょい悪あるじっちゅうやつやな。
Monsama would adopt that accent sometimes. She picked it up from Washimi, another one of the servants here. With its distinct tone, I could understand well the urge to mimic it. That afternoon, while Monsama busied herself with her lessons, I set myself to self-training. I wouldn't have mind standing behind her throughout the lesson, ready to serve, but...
お前も己を磨いてくれ。共に切磋琢磨しようぞ。
You sure do like polishing yourself.
ピッカピカになるのだ。
So ordered my adorable master. Oh, Lee-san's here. She really took a mouthful from Zozuma this morning. Is she
リ
alright?
ーちゃん、頼んでおいた資料、納期は来週末だって。
もう終わっていますから後で届けます。注意箇所をいくつか申し送りしますので。
うわ、早いわね。
That's
あれ時間かかるでしょうに。
339.
のめり込め
Sorry.
ば気づけ
I
ば
was
終わって
looking
ま
at
すから。
33. I didn't see the 9. I didn't see the 9. Now she had begun playing with her smartphone. In all likelihood, she was replying to texts lightning quick. Whenever I messaged her, she never taken more than a minute or two to
リーさん
respond.
KR 地区やはり問題が出てきたのですが。
考慮はしてあります。マオに聞いて対応してください。
Oh wait, isn't this the route where basically Yamato gets to gets to touch your own Lee's body just to get her to react?
リーさん、クロアの中での護衛方法で質問あんだけど。
では実際にやってみますか。
She's briskly taking care of anything and
なん
everything.
だ、先輩の動きを観察してんのか。
Oh, Azumi-san.
リーはいい動きしてるだろ。あたいになんかあったらいざという時は後をリーに任せようと思っていろいろと教えてもいるんだぜ。
You shouldn't jinx yourself like that.
緊急時の代理を考えておくなんて当然だろ
Yes, it is. So Lee-san was Azumi-san's top choice to be her successor as the number one ranked servant. That really brings home how incredible she is. Did she notice something?
Oh, Azumi 休憩か。いいこった。
They're gonna talk about it,
仕
huh?
事だぜ。
なあステイシー、リーとヤマトって仲良くなりそうじゃね？
ああ、確かにな。互いに懐いてる感じがするかも。
I'm loving these different expressions from Stacy that they added.
だろ？しゃあねえな。くっつけてやるか？
それもいいと思うけどよ。安住は自分の心配すれば。
Oof.
キャルーン29にもなってよ。キャルーは。
おう、もうやめとけや。
わかった。オーケー、オーケーだ。
Scary. The night drew late.
今日も母上と寝てくるのだ。
That is wonderful. Have a good night.
ヤマトは我と寝られなくて寂しいか？
I believe Subone-sama is taking an overseas trip next week. There will be plenty of time for me then.
わかった。いい子にしていろよ。
I make no promises. Lee's in the next room. And so my cute master left for her mother's bedroom. Maybe I should get some studying done.
Okay!
The loud one is opening up my door. Or not. There wouldn't be any studying tonight. Not that she was here. I mean, not now that she was here. What is it, Stacy?
こんばんは、ヤマト。
Oh, hello.
おう、コハイ。お姉さんたちと飲み行こうぜ。
I reject her offer, accept her offer, consider her offer. Why the hell would I reject her offer? Actually, I'm interested in all of these choices. What should I do?
なーに一丁前に悩んでんだ。行くぞ、こら。
She got me in a headlock and clearly wasn't about to let go. I did have the feeling I wouldn't get a say in the
すいませ
matter.
んね。強引で。
いいんだ。俺はお姉さんたちと飲めて嬉しいんだ。
Could you please not mimic my voice? Also, I would have called you ladies. At least take the time to make me sound polite.
小賢しいぜ。いい
Okay. Reject her offer. I was thinking of getting some training done.
出発出発。お前まさか私の誘いは断んねえだろ。
She snapped her arms around me in a headlock. Wouldn't
すい
dream
ま
of
せ
it.
んね。強引で。
いいんだ。俺はお姉さんたちと飲めて嬉しいんだ。
Okay, that's just the same shit. Alright.
まあ選択権なんてねえけどさ。なあ。
She snapped her arms around me in a headlock. I was going to say yes
すいま
anyways.
せんね。強引で。
いいんだ。俺はお姉さんたちと飲めて嬉しいんだ。
Could you please not mimic my voice? Also, I would have called you ladies. At least take the time to be polite.
小賢しいぜ。
He's not pretentious.
いらっしゃい。
Benkei. Hello, Benkei of the house of Musashibo.
おい、ヤマト真ん中だぜ。今日はお前いじるんだから。
ほらほら。
Yeah.
観念してください。
Lee-san and Stacy-san sat on either side of me, pinning me between them. The drugs, like, the people around me are giving me envious looks, but they're my superiors, so...
マーボンだ。メーカーズ、当然ロックで。
キールロワイヤルを。
This is literally a first for me in the series. I have not watched or played this at all. I'll have non-alcoholic Kawakami water.
お兄さん、私に一杯おごってくださらない？
Benkei all but clung to me. You look good in that, amazingly so.
店員は仕事してるや、ベンケ。
Jeez.
なんだ、弁慶ちゃん。俺にもサービスしてよ。
Obliterate him, please, before I do it. He reached out his hand, but Benkei slid out of the way. The Genji trio were working various odd jobs to better learn about society. From what I've heard, Yoshitsune and Yoichi were working a detective agency. Interesting.
で、どうよ、ヤマト。仕事の方は。
I formally started my employment, so I've been dropped down to rank 996. Right now, I'm pushing myself to learn everything about the trade.
夜は先輩から飲みに誘われちゃうし、新人は辛いな。
なんだかんだで来るあたり、人付き合いいいです、ヤマトは。
Lee-san patted me on the head.
若造らしく懸命に頑張りゃ。血尿出るぐらい。
Yeah.
それでなんかヘマしても仕方ねえ。上司の私がきっちり守ってやるからさ。ガツンと仕事にぶつかっていけ。その衝撃音こそ。
Rock.
そういうこと。マスター、バーボンもう一杯。
This girl's, God, these two girls are more my speed.
ステイシーなりにあなたを気遣っているんですよ。
Yes, she is. Whispered Lee into my ear. I'll also have another Kawakami water. That was a fact I was happy to hear, but I knew it was the faintly pleasant smell wafting from Lee-san that had made my heart skip a beat.
お客様はだいぶ顔も赤いようですし、水でいいのでは？
Oh, jealousy. She'd given up on hiding her snark. Meanwhile, as for the other Genjis hard at work, at the detective agency, Minamoto Yoshitsune was working alongside her mentor on a background investigation.
対象が移動を開始したようだぞ。あんな遠くでよう見えるな。さすが弓兵。
では、尾行を開始しようと思う。
せやね。ところで、尾行と交尾って似ているな、義経。
先輩？
冗談や。ほな行くで。行く行っちゃうで。
I like this guy, he's teasing her,
人の
obviously.
業を覗き見るか。悪だな、まさに。
Yes.
弁慶、義経はなんだか大変だけど、頑張ってるぞ。
And Yoichi is just having a blast right now.
ステイシー、飲みすぎではないですか？
ロックすぎたが、少しは水割りでもよかったかな。でも、まだまだいけるであります。
Oh, here she goes. Said Stacy, saluting the empty air.
もっと飲みたくねえのか？付き合うぜ。
飲んでいる方ですよ。
まあ、顔赤いからね。
リ
ーの顔の違いわかるか、ヤマト？
Yes, I can see the red tinge.
二人がかりで見ないでください。
そうそう。こいつは照れもするし悲しみもするんだ。それをゾズマの野郎、能面とか鉄面人が言いやがってなんかムカつくぜ。
聞いていたんですか。鉄面人は言われてませんが。
They must be talking about this morning.
いいです、ステイシー。私に非がありますから。
知った愚痴だお前も。
気遣ってくれてありがとうございます。
そのいい子ぶり。初めて会った時からほんと変わらねえな。
I think she has changed a bit. Now that you mention it, how did you two meet?
Kukiの構成プログラムですよ。私とステイシーは二人きりの同期だったんです。
そうそう。山奥に閉じ込められてさ。ふわっか。こんな辺境で修行とはな。
リーと言います。よろしく。
ステイシー・コナー、米国出身。元傭兵だ。前職は何してたんだリー？
Mercenary, ex-mercenary.
とても語れるようなことではありません。
当ててやろうか。ヒットマンだ。足音立てない歩き方。その眼光。結構な地獄見てそうだな。
Wow, you two know the tricks of the trade.
でも私は気にしないぜ。いいやつだろ。よろしくな。
気にしなくてもずかずか踏み込まれるのは不快です。
お、腹立ったかい。じゃああれだ。待機命令で退屈だったんだ。組手やろうぜ、組手。
それは命令違反になります。やりません。
ちょっとぐらいドカバキしてもバレやしねえよ。
いえ、遠慮しておきます。
Why?
お、なんだあれか？ビビってんのか？ママ怖いってか？
どうとっても構いません。 私は戦いません。
け、いい子ぶりやがって。つまんねえやつだ。
というのが慣れ初めでしたね。
Stacy-san was really looking to pick a fight, huh?
うるさいな。もう過ぎた話だっつうの。
懐かしいですね。あの後もよくステイシーにいじめられました。
よく言うよ、無視しやがって。相手して欲しかったんだよ。
Stacy-san threw back her drink.
慰めてやろうと思ったのに昔を蒸し返しやがって。
いいえ、十分慰められてます。ありがとう。
Lee-san gulped down her own drink in turn.
一人でいたらいろいろと暗く考えていたでしょうし。
ならいいけどよ。マーボンおかわり。
We don't need you drinking more.
早くうるさいじじいども隠居してくんねえかな。
As the hopes of the next generation, they must have been under a lot of pressure.
いかん。ろくに飲みすぎた。このままでは後輩のどこかにかかってしまう。
What? That's a pretty awful thing to say to the guy who's lending you his
大丈
shoulder.
夫ですよ。私はまだ冷静ですし。
Are you sure, child?
失礼。
I'll make sure to see both of you safely home.
なあ、ヤマト、聞けや。
Ready?
リーはさ、いいやつなんだ。
Yes, she is.
修行時代、私がトラウマの発作を起こした時にいつも面倒見てくれてさ、あんだけ絡んでた私をさ、だから感謝してるんだ。リーよ、相棒をバカにされると本当に腹が立つぜ。
Kind of upset that these two are not a 2-for-1 deal, though.
これ、リーには内緒だぞ。マジで。はずいからな。
You are drunk. Sure, I
完
swear.
全に酔っていますね。私の存在に気づかないと。
And she fell asleep. And now she's fallen asleep.
昔から世話の焼ける相棒です。
You two really are close. That natural smile just now was amazing. Come to think of it, you're a lot like Mayuchi. She also had a wonderful smile that could only surface when she wasn't thinking about it. Trying to force the smile was clearly the obstacle. The girl grew up soundly. The snake had chosen not to tell her who he truly was. A fact that his fellow guild assassins could not understand.
後継ぎにするわけでもないのに育てていたのか。
彼女には普通の人生を歩んでほしいんだよ。
おめえ何を考えてやがるんだ。
地獄で罪を裁かれるときに一個ぐらいはいいことしたって言いたいんだ。
知らねえぜ、どうなっても。
That October, a pair of assailants stormed the snake's home. It was vengeance for when he disappeared one of their friends. No sooner had they arrived that the snake sensed their
人
presence.
中はここでじっとしていろ。大丈夫だからな。
So he sent his daughter to the back to safety while he himself turned to face the assailants. The first he dispatched quickly, but he couldn't find the second. A heavy feeling in his heart, he headed to the back of the house to find the girl had already finished him off with a knife.
こいつは私を人質にしようとした。隙があったから刺せた。
そのナイフどこから？
お父さんがここに武器隠しているの知っていたから。
Oh.
いない時に時々いじって振ってたりしてた。
Oh. The guild the snake was a part of dealt with the aftermath internally.
門前の小僧が習わぬ教を読んじまったな。
ヘビ、あんたが殺しの家業をやめる努力もしないで続けてる理由は簡単なことさ。結局ハマっちまってるのさ。殺すという行為。
I don't think
そういうことだ。そんな薄汚ねえ殺し屋にまっとうな子育てなんかできっこねえんだ。
Hey, screw you. Shut the fuck up.
ヘビ、腹をくくらないとね。また報復の連中が来るかもしれない。自分の身を守れるようにしてやんないと。
The snake told his daughter everything. Strangely, none of it flustered her.
お父さんと同じことをしたい。
Oh wow, I'm getting deja vu from somebody. Yuji. Kazumi. Kazumi. So with barely a peep, she accepted that fate. The snake could only shudder at how quickly his daughter grasped the nuts and bolts of his craft.
足の速いやつ、頭のいいやつ、記憶力のいいやつ、いろいろいるが、我が子にはあるかもしれない暗殺の才能が。
Better by half if she'd had a warrior's talent, but no, hers was slated towards the art of assassination.
こうなる運命だったということなのか。
Several years later, the girl had grown up into a master
俺たちの
assassin.
標的は汚い奴らだ。だけど殺している時点で、こっちも悪だ。自分がどういう人間かを自覚したら、臆病に生きろ。臆病じゃなきゃ生き残れないぞ。
That is exactly the way Yuji Kazumi lived his life. That was a saying he'd repeat time and again, for he knew that to work in the underground was to have death by your side. And work he did until there came one mission that the cowardly snake never come home from. And so Lee took up her father's name and formally took up his trade. The brilliance of her work, of how she wielded the assassin's weapons, sent echoes throughout the underworld.
おめえはもうヘビって名前はやめておきな。親父さんを超えてるぜ。その素養。
これからは竜って名乗りな。うちの組織で最高の仕事だな。
The dragon. But with time, even the guild boss who looked after her so kindly was disappeared.
この仕事はね、やめたらいけないんだ。この世のドブさらいを誰かがやらないと。酷なことを言うけど、ずっと続けておくれ。
Don't encourage her down this path. And continued it she did, keeping her father's words to heart. The girl strove to be cowardly, to be prudent, to be composed. Before she knew it, her face had grown as cold as hard as a gravestone. Gone was the smile that she had come to her so easily, when her father yet lived, when she had yet been a girl. Then came to the woman the job that proved to be her last. The target was none other than Kuki Mikado, the biggest of the big. Yet to hear her client say it, he was a despicable
あの
savage.
悪魔は金を持て余して貧乏な子供たちを集めてショーをやっているんだ。映画さながらのバトルロイヤルを。
What do you know? She wouldn't know this until later, but these claims were fabrications her client had intended to drive her to disappear
で
Mikado.
はやってみる。
Spoke Lee matter-of-factly. It did not matter to her who the target was. Her only desire was now and ever to complete her mission. She knew there were chinks in the armor of every fortress. Lee found the cookie's chink and set to her task. However,
資格をあぶり出すなど簡単なことでございます。
Lee found herself at the mercy of his web of threads. The opening she thought she spotted proved to be a trap set by the perfect butler, Claudio.
精一杯生きてきた。これが終わりなら仕方ない。
まあお待ちなさい。
Lee had been about to bite her tongue and end her own life, but Claudio's word caused her pause.
資格であるにもかかわらず澄んだ目をしておりました。
ああ、お前が話をしてみろ、クラウディオ。
スカウトしてよろしいですか、帝様。
優秀であれば命狙ってきたやつであろうが構わねえさ。どんどん引っ張れ。説得できそうなのか？
はは。簡単なことでございます。
Claudio then spent the next week doing exactly that. First, he cleared up her misunderstandings regarding Mikado-sama, and then he showed her the path ahead.
闇の家業とはいえ、誰かが続けないといけないんです。
少なくともあなたが戻って続けることは不可能ですね。こうして捕まった時点で暗殺者としての生涯は幕を閉じたと言ってもいいでしょ
う。Yes.
それで私に茎で働けと。
そうです。あなたのような優秀な人材を求めているのです。
That they do.
でも私が今さら真っ当な道に行くなどありえます。
ありえます。
なぜそう言えるんですか？
育ちから裏家業に身をやつしたあなたではありますが、その魂は闇に飲まれておりません。
Claudio had gotten Lee to speak of her upbringing.
もちろん業は一生消えないでしょう。しかしあなたならその重い荷を背負っても真っ当な道を歩めます。
Claudio earnestly endeavored to persuade her.
これまでの仕事履歴を喋ることはできません。
問いません。
他の暗殺者の情報も喋りません。
欲しいのはあなた自身です。一切余計な質問を。
That is true.
もちろん就職したら私の下できちんと面倒を見ますよ。
私をそこまで評価してくださるのですか？
He coaxed and cajoled her for days on end.
本来ならばここで終わった命です。わかりました。私を見込んでくださったあなたのため頑張ります。
She yielded to Claudio's enthusiasm and entered the Cookie's employ.
さすがだな、完璧執事。で、肝心のリーちゃんはどこよ？
クキに入る条件としていろいろけじめをつけておきたいと。だから一度解き放ちました。
真面目なんだな。じゃあ数日中に来んだろう、多分。
よろしいのですか、帝様？
いいさ。約束破って戻ってこないならその程度の人間だ。
甘いですね。
要件に厳しいじゃないか。
あなたの命を狙った人間です。厳しくなって当然でしょう。
A lot.
でも確かにもし局を狙う人間がいたって想像したらこりゃもう許せねえな。
帝様。
リュウがあのうざい茎を消してくれればと思ったんだが失敗か。
You're dead, old man. The lies contained within your request amount to betrayal. The blood price to be paid. The dragon. The client had to answer for his lies and manipulation. It was what she desired and what was demanded by the ironclad laws of the underwood.
もともと上に目つけられ始めていたしな。それに依頼人の嘘も見抜けないようじゃ、組織も解散する時なのかもしれねえな。俺は違うところで仕事を続ける。おめえもどうせ茎が合わなくなる。そしたらまた違う場所で仕事をしようや。
If you don't leave her alone, I will break you, old man. Once Lee had set things to rights, the organization disbanded. Afterwards, she hastily joined the Cookies. In order to work as a servant, Lee later had to enter a heavy-duty rehabilitation program.
夢ですか?
She glanced around, confirmed her situation. She was in the Cookie's headquarters, specifically her room. She was a maid.
昔話をしたから思い出したんですね。昔の生活から見れば今のなんと恵まれていることか。暗殺組織にいた他のみんなはどうしているのでしょうか。やはり冥府魔道を歩んでいるのでしょうか。願わくば。 平穏な道で生きていますように。
She hugged tight the panda stuffed animal she had received from her partner.
ハンバーガーのクッション狙ったのに、でけえ白黒のクマ野郎が落ちてきやがった。リーはこれ好きそうだな。出身地的な意味で。はい、やれや。
The pair had been all but thrusted upon her, yet she fell in love with it nevertheless.